A critical starting point for understanding the region's geostrategic dynamics is the collapse of the Ottoman Empire at the turn of the 20th century, particularly during and after World War I. For centuries prior, much of the Middle East was governed by a single imperial structure, with its command center in Constantinople, formerly Byzantium and now Istanbul, Turkey. The consequences of this collapse reverberate in the events that shaped the modern Middle East. Ottoman control was neither peaceful nor equal, yet a vast and diverse area was governed by a single political system. Arabs, Turks, Kurds, Armenians, Jews, Christians, Sunnis, Shiites, and others lived together in this system, although power was unevenly distributed and tensions persisted. The Ottoman Empire began to weaken in the late 19th century and completely collapsed during World War I, 1914 to 1918. By the end of the war in 1918, it had effectively fallen apart, precipitated by the strategic mistake of joining Germany during the conflict. In 1922, the Ottoman Sultanate was formally abolished. This period, from the end of World War I to the early 1920s, marked one of the most significant turning points in the modern history of the Middle East because it dismantled the old political system without creating a stable new one. In 1916, during World War I, Britain and France signed the Sykes-Picot Agreement, a secret deal to divide Ottoman Arab lands into spheres of influence. After the war, this was implemented through the League of Nations mandate system. France took Syria and Lebanon, Britain took Iraq and Palestine, including what became Transjordan, now Jordan. The two colonial powers made decisions that mattered for the region's future for two reasons that still resonate in current geopolitics. First, the new political map created by France and Britain in the early 1920s reflected imperial interests more than local political agreement. Second, the new states frequently lacked legitimacy. Borders were drawn, but many political questions remained unsettled, relating to inclusion or exclusion within each of these states, leadership and oversight, political identity, and above all, how to address the challenges associated with ethnic, tribal, religious, and sectarian rivalries, probably one of the most consequential issues affecting the region and many other parts of the world subject to colonial arbitrary map drawing in the 19th and 20th centuries. The colonial maps drawn in the early 1920s shaped Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Palestine, and others. Artificial states emerged with weak institutions and fragile political arrangements. In some cases, tensions persisted for decades, continuing even into the present day. The collapse of the Ottoman Empire ended an empire but introduced a fragile regional order vulnerable to outside control.